Hey y'all, welcome back to Triple C, Candace's College Cooking, where I have the privilege of teaching you, the 20-something crowd, the basics and hacks of cooking, as well as how to create restaurant-worthy meals to impress your friends, your roommates, or even a date. Today, we're gonna go super quick, super easy. It's summertime, it's hot where I am. I'm sure it's hot where you are. What would be better than a chilled, cold, ice cold gazpacho? Today I'm gonna show you how to make gazpacho. Super easy, you can do it in a blender. I'm gonna do it in a food processor. If you do it in a blender, let's make sure you put the ingredients in the correct order to make sure that all of your vegetables get chopped up really fine. We're gonna go super easy today. We're gonna use canned tomatoes. As you know, $1.50 at Walmart, just some Italian style whole peeled tomatoes. We need some fresh cilantro. We're gonna throw that in if you have some. You could use some parsley if you have that. Honestly, you could throw in whatever herbs you have. If you have some basil, you could put that in there. That's really tasty in a gazpacho as well. Cucumbers, chopped peppers. So you could use a red pepper. I've got some yellow peppers here. A half of a chopped red onion, and I say chopped like super large chop, just a rough chop is what that's called. We're gonna need some olive oil, salt, pepper, cumin, a little bit of cumin, and I love smoked paprika in my gazpacho, so we're gonna put that in there as well. And then this is kind of interesting. You thicken the soup with a piece of bread. So what I've done is I toasted a piece of bread. I actually toasted a hamburger bun because I didn't have any bread. So I toasted a hamburger bun and then I just tore it up roughly and I put it in a bowl, okay? And then I drained the canned tomatoes into the bowl. So that's gonna soften that bread. But toasting it first gives it, makes it really absorbent when you put the liquid in with it. I also added our spices into the tomato and hamburger bun mixture. So again, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of cumin. Be really careful on the cumin. Cumin can overtake your creations very quickly. And then remember, my hack for any kind of tomato product is a teaspoon of baking soda. Alternatively, you could use roughly 2 teaspoons, maybe 3 teaspoons, which is equals a tablespoon of sugar if you prefer. And then we're also gonna put some olive oil, 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil into the soup, and really important, some fresh garlic. Again, you can go the jarred garlic route, but this one really, you want the punch of the fresh garlic. So if you're using a blender, put your garlic cloves, your peeled garlic cloves into the blender first, and then also probably your cilantro. And what I'm gonna do with the cilantro is I'm literally just gonna break it and go that route, okay? And remember, you can use the stems on cilantro. The other kind of random secret ingredient I'm gonna include today, and it's random. All right, I did a charcuterie board the other day and I had some stuffed sweet cherry peppers that were in a jar that were left over. And so I'm gonna throw those in too because that nice sweetness and a little bit of cream cheese I think is gonna be really good in my gazpacho. So here we go. Garlic and cilantro first. And we're just gonna give that a 1, 2, 3, a quick pulse. Get those elements broken up. Now let's add our vegetables, except our tomatoes. Okay, because our tomatoes are really soft. Those are gonna break down super easy. So again, I've got about a half of an English cucumber, and I just chopped it roughly. I didn't de-seed it because the seeds are really small in the English cucumbers. Half of a red onion, and then about half to a whole, depending on your flavor profile that you wanna get, of a pepper. So again, that could be a green pepper, a red pepper, or I'm doing a yellow pepper in here, okay? So let's throw that into the blender or your food processor. And we're gonna give that a quick chop. And if you're using the blender to do this instead of a food processor, you can go ahead and put your 3 tablespoons of olive oil in. That'll loosen up the blender a little bit. It's easier when you're using some liquid in with a blender. Okay, now I'm gonna throw in, again, my secret random ingredient. You don't have to have this, but it's just jarred, sweet, stuffed peppers, okay? I know, a little strange, but I think it's gonna be delicious. All right, add that. All right, this is looking like a bunch of chunky vegetables that have broken down. All right, let's throw in our 2 cans, and these are 28-ounce cans. Yep, 28-ounce cans of tomatoes. And if your blender is too small, you can do them 1 can at a time. It'll be perfectly fine. All right, couple more ingredients to add, and we're gonna be off to the races. Okay, we're going to add some sherry if you have that. Again, if you're of age, you can use sherry. If not, you can use red wine vinegar or sherry vinegar. You can buy that. We're gonna need about 1/4 of a cup. You know, that's about 3 tablespoons. I don't have any sherry, unfortunately. I ran out, so I'm gonna use a little bit of weird combo here. I'm gonna use a tablespoon of vermouth. A tablespoon of that. A tablespoon of brandy. I know, it's getting a little weird today. The things you do when you don't have the right ingredients. And a tablespoon, roughly, of red wine vinegar. All right, and that's gonna add a good punch to the gazpacho. Let me give this a quick blend. All right, and now I'm ready to add my, again, toasted hamburger bun. Don't use that. Use a piece of bread if you have it, but you know, you make do with what you got. And this has our salt, our pepper, our paprika, and our cumin, all right? And this thing is really full. Hopefully I don't have a mess. Be careful with the blender because you might end up with a mess. Okay. And then to finish it off, I need about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. You can tell this is really scientific. All right. I think it's about ready. Let's give it a quick taste. Didn't have my tasting spoons in the right place. Okay. It's really good, but of course it has to chill for, I'd say, at least 4 hours, but preferably overnight. It's gonna make it much better. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get this into a container. I'm gonna get it wrapped up, covered, put in the fridge, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to plate it up for a party. You can do a couple of different things. One is stuffing a cucumber, really cool. Also, you can throw it into shot glasses, or you can put it in clear cups as well. Or, of course, if you want, you can just serve it in a bowl. But I'll give you a couple of different ideas. I'll show you how to do it when we come back. Hey, y'all, one other thing I wanted to mention. My super kind and thoughtful friend, Bill Myers, made this for me. He's gonna be on an episode in the near future, probably around the air fryer, and y'all probably have air fryers, so you might find that interesting. But anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Bill, and Rosso said thank you too, as you can hear, for this awesome board. Just took my gazpacho out of the refrigerator. It's been sitting in there overnight and looks pretty good. Now I want to show you a couple of different plating options. This is really kind of a cool summery option for a buffet. And what I did is I've taken cucumber and I literally just hold part of it out. Let me show y'all how to do that. Take the cucumber, I already cut it. Now if you have a melon baller, this works. If you don't, you can use a small paring knife. The melon baller, you know, makes it look a little bit better, but honestly, if you don't have one that's small enough, a knife is the way to go because it's going to, you know, potentially get into the walls if you cut, and you want to make sure that you don't do that. And then just put a small dollop of the gazpacho into our little cucumber cups. And give me just a second and I'll finish these up and you can see what that plating option looks like. Okay, so this is what it would look like if you want to use this kind of plating option. You can use a flat plate, a long plate, doesn't have to be a round plate. And then you probably want to put just a couple of drips of olive oil on top of each of these. And then probably just a little splash of pepper. And you could stick a basil leaf on the plate just to give it a little bit of color. So that's one plating option. For a second plating option, I have these cute little glasses. They're, sherry glasses or, after dinner drink glasses. If you don't have these, you don't have to go this route, but I just thought I'd show you how cute this looks. And I have different types, some that are super ornate and some that are pretty plain. So let me show you how I would do this. It's kind of challenging. It's gonna be challenging to get the soup into this skinny glass, but I think I'd probably put like, maybe 3 scoops of gazpacho, maybe 4. Yeah, that looks good. 3 scoops of gazpacho into these cute little cups. And then what I do is, you can either put a little cilantro on top, or I prefer this. So this is a cucumber that I just cut in half, and literally I just sliced it to the middle, and you can put it on the rim of the glass. So, doesn't that look pretty? And not to be outdone, if you don't have these small little glasses, I've got these red glasses. This would be for, if you're having a dinner party with, maybe 4 or 5 people. I wouldn't necessarily put this on a buffet because it would be too large. And then this one I really like. These beautiful glasses came from my Aunt Nancy, and I think I'm the only one in the family that could give a care about crystal and things of that nature. So I ended up with them, which I'm thrilled to have. And you could put, again, the cucumber on here, maybe a little piece of basil, or, I also have some cilantro. So you could stick a little stem in cilantro, and they don't all have to be the same. If you have variety, it makes it look more interesting. So that's what I have for you with gazpacho. I hope you'll give this a try. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to my channel, like the episode, and share on social. And remember, to share a meal is to share a life. I hope you'll come back for my next episode.